स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्द सूरये सच्चित् सुख स्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे स्वामिने तापहारिणे। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Let's sing the invocation together, page 22.
ॐ नमो भगवते रामकृष्णाय। ॐ नमो भगवते रामकृष्णाय। ॐ नमो भगवते रामकृष्णाय। ॐ नमो भगवती शारदा देवीये ॐ नमो भगवती शारदा देवीये ॐ नमो भगवते रामकृष्णाय ॐ नमो भगवती शारदा देवीये ॐ श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
Om, page 132. Om, तारी मर्जी दुनिया चाले रे,
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 सूरज चांदू ने आ तारा, तू कहे ते मचाले रे,
सूरज चांदो ने आ तारा, तू कहे ते मचाले रे,
सूरज चांदू ने आ तारा, तू कहे ते मचाले रे,
सूरज चांदो ने आ तारा, तू कहे ते मचाले रे,
तू कहे ते मचाले रे,
तू कहे ते मचाले रे,
तारी मर्जी दुनिया चाले रे,
तारी मर्जी दुनिया चाले रे,
भूमि सागर ने आवायो, तारी मर्जी चाले रे,
भूमि सागर में आवायो, तारी मर्जी चाले रे,
भूमि सागर ने आवायो, तारी मर्जी चाले रे,
भूमि सागर में आवायो, तारी मर्जी चाले रे,
तारी मर्जी चाले रे,
तारी मर्जी चाले रे,
तारी मर्जी दुनिया चाले रे,
तारी मर्जी दुनिया चाले रे,
तारी मर्जी ने जे नहीं समझे, ते जन दुखिया तावे रे,
तारी मर्जी ने जे नहीं समझे, ते जन दुखिया पावे रे,
तारी मर्जी ने जे नहीं समझे, ते जन दुखिया तावे मर्जीती दुनिया चाले रे,
तारी 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 मर्जीती दुनिया चाले रे।
ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
Om, page 84. Om Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Ram Narayanam Janaki Vallabham
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Ram Narayanam Janaki Vallabham
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आगे नहीं, तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, ढेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, बेल शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान हंसते नहीं, राम राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
फिर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं,
ये शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं।
माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं,
माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं।
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं,
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं।
राम कृष्ण के जैसे हंसाते नहीं,
राम कृष्ण के जैसे हंसाते नहीं।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
ॐ श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
Om Namo Narayana Revered Mataji, sisters, brothers, and loving children. We welcome you to this morning's Satsang. The little children may go to their classes. This morning, Revered Mataji will read and explain from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna.
तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितां कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिदा जनाः. The nectar of your sin-effacing utterances brings life and hope to those scorched by misery. They are extolled by wise sages, and the mere listening to them would bring auspiciousness to all. They confer every prosperity. Those who spread them broadcast are verily magnanimous. They distribute what is completely satisfying to the hearers. The prayer is taken from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters, brothers, and loving children. We're very, very happy to see you here this morning. And as the prayer says, God's words are like nectar because they give us everlasting peace. In this world, in this humdrum of worldly existence, we get so caught up with what we have to do that we forget about the divine. And these prayers like these remind us that God is seated in our hearts, and to really find peace and happiness, to be able to cope with our challenges, we have to repeat God's name and take refuge in Him, because it gives us that which is completely satisfying to the hearers. We know that every day, day after day, very few people talk about God. It's all about mundane things, all about their challenges, their problems, what they have to do. But it's very good when devotees meet to speak about God. I always remember when our big Swamiji was here, revered Guruji, he used to say also, especially after satsang, don't immediately start talking about worldly things. Yes, you have to greet somebody, you have to ask them how they are, but try as much as possible to maintain that calmness, to maintain that serenity. You find very few people quietly prostrate and they go, but most of us talk and talk and talk about unnecessary things. So whatever we listen to in the satsang or chant God's name, sing His glories, it's very good to try and remember that for as long as possible. Also, our Swamiji used to say that every day when you finish your sadhana, you finish your prayer and you prostrate, try and keep that awakening of love of God in the heart. When we go into the world, try and keep that awake rather than forgetting about it and getting on into our worldly duties. Sri Ramakrishna speaks to Captain and the other devotees. Attribute to yourselves the bliss of God consciousness. That's Master's first words. Attribute to yourselves. Think about your own self, because you yourself have the bliss of God consciousness in you. Then you too will experience ineffable joy. Master's face used to be always blissful, always glowing with divine light and joy, bliss, and happiness. He used to radiate this peace. When as soon as people come to him, they used to feel this love and this peace, this joy, and forget about all their burdens. The bliss of God consciousness always exists in you. It is only hidden by the veiling and projecting power of Maya. The less you are attached to the world, the more you will love God. See exactly what we were saying. Master says that the less we think about worldly things, the more we can have love of God, because this veil of Maya means illusion. Just as when the cloud blocks the sun, it's not that the sun is not there, it is always there, but we cannot see it because of the cloud. So similarly, the cloud of ignorance, the cloud of Maya, the cloud of attachment that veils our vision of God seated in our hearts. So, in fact, in these few lines, Master gives us everything. He says, just remember that God is in you, and the only way to awaken that power is to sing His glories, read from the scriptures, keep good and holy company, attend satsangs. There was a wonderful hymn we sang during Mahashivaratri called the Nirvana Shatakam. It has 6 verses, so it's called Shatakam. Ashtakam is if it has 8 verses. So the Nirvana Shatakam, it has these beautiful verses that tell us we are divine by nature. Every verse ends with Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am of the nature of Satchit Ananda, consciousness and bliss. I am Shiva. Shiva is that auspiciousness, that consciousness. So every verse, so if we just read the meaning of that Nirvana Shatakam as often as we can at home, we can be reminded of that. I would say the beauty of spiritual life is that it is subjective. I don't have to worry about anybody else, what others are saying, what others are doing, how they're living their lives. I have to remind myself. So even when there are challenges, remind myself I'm not alone, God is with me. So then God comes to our aid. So firstly, we must try to manifest that divinity, identify ourselves with the Atman rather than the body-mind complex. So obviously if we have aches and pains, we will say, I am in pain. So very seldom we say, my body is in pain. I am not that. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the Atman. So we forget that, and that's why we suffer, we have pain. So we have to, because the Master says, then you too will have this bliss. That means that it is not only for saints and sages. It is not only for incarnations of God. Everyone can experience this bliss, and it depends on what we do to go near that divinity, what we do to try and remove that power of ignorance so we can progress in life as much as we make that effort. I know Big Swamiji also used to say that life is like an open book exam. Everything is available to us. How to improve, what to do, how to speak to people, how to face our challenges, because in most of our scriptures, I would say all our scriptures, have the stories that show us infinite challenges. It's not all smooth and rosy and all a bed of roses. In all our stories, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, the Devi Mahatmyam, full of challenges, but we are taught how to overcome that, remembering that God is with us. So all the answers are there. It is up to us to find the answers and to awaken that divine power in us. So Captain is a devotee. He says, the further you proceed towards your home in Calcutta, the further you leave Benares behind. So Benares is on the north, Calcutta is also a little bit more to the south, but it's on the east. So like you would say, when you are driving towards the ashram, the more you come towards the ashram, you are coming closer to the ashram and leaving your home behind. So when you leave from here, you're leaving the ashram and you're going towards your home. So Captain says, the further you proceed towards your home in Kolkata, the further you leave Benares behind. Again, the further you proceed towards Benares, the further behind you leave your home in Kolkata. Master gives a beautiful description or a beautiful example here. As Radha, Sri Radha Rani advanced towards Sri Krishna, she could smell more and more the sweet fragrance of his body. The nearer you approach God, the more you feel his love. As the river approaches the ocean, it increasingly feels the flow of the tides. If you have seen how, when the river joins the ocean, it seems as though the river has got all those waves because the force of the ocean makes the water move. So the nearer we come to God, then the more we feel that love within us. If we make the effort to go forward, then we definitely can succeed, but we have to do something about it. And Master says that if we awaken that in us, then we can progress. Master continues, the Jnani, that is one who has knowledge. You see here in Hinduism we have the Bhaktas, means the way to God through devotion, love and devotion. And Jnani is the one who likes to philosophize and say, oh, nothing here is real, everything is unreal, only God is real. So let's see what Master says. The Jnani experiences God consciousness within himself. It is like the upper Ganges flowing in only one direction. To him, the whole universe is illusory, like a dream. He is always established in the reality of the self. But with the lover of God, the case is different. His feeling does not flow in one direction only. He feels both the ebb tide and the flood tide of divine emotion. He laughs and weeps and dances and sings in the ecstasy of God. So that is enjoying God through many different ways. The lover of God likes to sport with him In the ocean of God consciousness, he sometimes swims, sometimes goes down, and sometimes rises to the surface like a piece of ice in the water. And of course, everyone laughs because they can imagine this ice flopping up and down. And you see, Master can explain this so clearly because he himself is a devotee of God. He is a bhakta, he is not a jnani. In fact, Master used to pray to the Divine Mother, "Oh Mother, do not make me a dry monk." And whom did Master meet? Initially was his guru, Sri Totapuri Ji. Totapuri Ji was a knower of God by saying that this is not God, that is not God, that is not God, so nothing is God, only what remains after that, that is Brahman, the supreme consciousness, that is God. And Master said, "No, but I like to go to the temple and sing to the Divine Mother. I want to dance to her, I want to touch her, feel her presence." Then Totapuriji used to say, no, you must forget about that, think about only Brahman. Don't think that that is much lower, he used to tell Master. But of course, once when he taught Master the Advaita Vedanta philosophy, he was teaching Master that only Brahman exists. Nothing else is real in the world. Everything is unreal. And Master said, "No, but I'm trying to meditate on Brahman, nameless, formless, attributeless, nothing. It must be nothing. It must just be that divine power with no attributes." Master says, "But I can just see the Divine Mother coming in front of me." So what Totapuriji did, Master was sitting, it wasn't all beautiful buildings and all of that. In a sort of a sandy area, Master must have had his asana there, outside a little hut. So Totapuriji found a piece of glass there, and he took the glass and he pressed it here, and he said, "Now meditate here." And he was absolutely flabbergasted and shocked to see how Sri Ramakrishna went into himself and he merged into samadhi. What took Totapuriji 40 years to practice, to repeat that only God is real, Master in that 1 second entered into samadhi, and for 3 days Master's mind did not come down. So much so that Totapuriji became very worried. By the end of the 2nd or 3rd day, he was very worried, because if one remains in that consciousness for 21 days, then your mind can never come down again. In other words, you become one with Brahman and you attain what is called Mahasamadhi, and you give up the body. So Totapuriji was very, very worried, and he carried on chanting loudly, "Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om," to bring the Master's mind down. Then when Master on the 3rd day opened his eyes, then Totapuriji said, "Who are you? I came to teach you, but you are actually teaching me." Of course, those are the assumptions we make. He may not have actually used those words, but Totapuriji did ask, "Who are you?" And Master's absolute guilelessness, his simplicity, his purity, his sincere devotion to God earned him that. As we know, Master never studied the Upanishads and the Puranas, the Vedas. He used to actually tell Mother, "Oh Mother," of course Master was no fool, but he used to tell Mother, "You know how ignorant I am. I don't know anything. You must please teach me what is contained in the Vedas and the Upanishads, what is contained in all our scriptures, Mother. I do not know anything." And he could actually hear the Divine Mother answering, "Oh son, all that the scriptures say is that the world is illusory." So exactly what the scriptures are saying, the world is not real, but God alone is real. But you see, the attitude of a devotee is so beautiful, so different. Like Master used to say, "I don't want to be sugar, I want to taste sugar." So that's the difference. You see, when you are loving God, you thoroughly enjoy that singing, that dancing, that talking to God, that God is there and I am here. If I become one with God and I feel that I am God, there's no joy in that. There's no fun in that. So if we are sugar, then that's the end of the story. There's nothing to play, nothing to dance. But Master used to love keeping that God is there. And although Master had that knowledge, as we can see, for 3 days Master's mind did not come down. But he always went back to the temple, went back to the mother, and then Totapurji used to say, "Oh, you are still making chapati," because Master used to clap his hands and dance and sing. He said, "You're still making chapati. That you should know now, only Brahman." He says, "No, I cannot forget my mother, because it is she who has awakened this divine power in me." So Master says that if we have this devotion to God, then God himself teaches us what we need to know. And so the Master says, let me see where we stopped here. Yes, if we become like the Gyanis, then we won't feel the pain of others. We will say, "Oh no, but that is God's divine place. It's not real." So we won't feel the pain of others, whereas Master, Mother and Swamiji taught us to serve the living God because they saw God in everyone. So otherwise, that dry philosophy, don't make me a dry monk that I must say, "Oh, he is experiencing pain. It's got nothing to do with me." Not like that at all. Master felt very, very much the pain of others. He always wanted to relieve people of their suffering, and so did Mother Sharda and Swamiji also. And of course, all the direct disciples learned from the Master to see God in everyone, to help everyone. Of course, Master said, you cannot help anyone, you can only serve the living God in others. So thank God Master was not a dry monk, a Jnani who says that everything is unreal and everything is only Brahman, so the world is unreal. Master says again, the Jnani seeks to realize Brahman, but the ideal of the Bhakta is the personal God, a God endowed with omnipotence and with the 6 treasures. Now let's just quickly go over what the 6 treasures are. Of course, some of it is intelligence, devotion, compassion, renunciation, but if you look at the scriptures, they will say, first it is Shri, Bal, Aishwarya, Vijnana, Tyaga, and Tejas. So Shri is unlimited, that means abundance. Wealth, it can be also wealth, but Shri means this in abundance, no end, unlimited. Bal is magnificent glory or power. Aishwarya is irresistible wealth and prosperity. Vijnana is penetrating wisdom. So those that have gyan, have knowledge, they can theorize or philosophize and say that the world is unreal. But the Vijnani actually realizes that and knows it, like Master will say, some have seen milk, some have heard about milk, some have seen milk, and some have actually tasted it and know how nourishing it is. So a Vijnani is one who doesn't just have philosophical knowledge about God, but he has actually experienced that oneness of God. Tyaga is renunciation, and Tejas is illumination or splendor, brilliant light. So these are the glories of God, the 6, as they call it, the 6 treasures of God. Master again goes on to say that Brahman and Shakti are identical. So again, Master comes back to the fact that although we may call a Jnani one who knows Brahman, and then worshipping God as a devotee, having the personal form of God and loving to worship that aspect of God, so that is like a bhakta, but Shakti and Brahman are not 2 separate things. They are identical. That which is Brahman is also Shakti. That which is Shakti is also Brahman, like a diamond and its brilliance or its luster, a gem and its luster. When you think about a gem, you always think about the luster. And when you think about luster, you think about the gem as well, or as fire and its power to burn. You cannot separate the two. Milk and its whiteness, you cannot separate the two. May Master give us knowledge and devotion. May He enable us to pray with our concentrated mind and be regular in our sadhana. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Om. Thank you, Mataji. We will sing the Sri Hanuman Chalisa, which is on page 234. Om Anjaneyaya Vedmahe Vayuputraya Dhimahi Tanno Hanuman Prachodayat. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Doha Shri Guru Jaya Saroja Nijamana Mukura Sudar Varano Raghuvara Vimalayasha Joydayaka Kalasha Bundihi Tanujani Sumiro Pavana Kumar Balabuddhi Vidya Devu Mohi Harahu Kalesha Vihan Siyavai Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Hanuman Ki Jai. Shri Ambe Ambe Mata Ki Jai. Chaupad Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagara Jai Kapisa Tribhuloka Ujagara Rama Dutta Tulita Varadama Anjay Putra Pavana Sutta Rama Mahavira Vikrama Bajrangi Kumati Nivaya Sumati Ke Sangi Kanchana Varana Viraj Suvesha Kana Kundala Kunchita Kesha Hatha Vajra Auri Dvaja Viraje Kandhe Moy Jajane Moy Saje Shankar Suhana Kesari Nandana Tera Pratap Mahajagavandana Vidyavan Guni Ati Chatura Ram Kaj Kahibe Ko Atura Prabhu Charita Sunibe Ko Rasiya Ram Lakhana Sita Manya Basiya Sukshma Rup Dhari Siya Dikhawa Vikat Rup Dhari Lanka Jarawa Bhima Rup Dhari Asura Sanhare Ramachandra Ke Kaj Saware Laye Sajeevana Lakhana Jiyaye Shri Raghuveer Hare
कही श्रीपति कंचन गावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा नारद शारद सहित अहीशा यम कुबेर कपाल जहाजे कवि कोविद कही सखर कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हारो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लीलो ताहि मधुर फल जानो प्रभु मोद्रिका मणि मुख माई जन दिलानि गए अचय जनाई दुर्गम काज जगत के जय जय सुगम अनुगम तुम्हारे जय जय राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आया बिन पैसारे सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू कोई दयना आपन तेज समायो आपै तीनों लोक हांकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नाश योग हरे सब पीरा जब निरंजय हनुमत वीरा संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन वचन ज्ञान बोलावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तीरथ काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे तासमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग भय ताप तुम्हारा भय पर से जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे अश्विनी कंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता नाम सायन तुम्हारे पासा सगार हो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंतकाल रघुपति पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्त डगरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट हरई विजय सब सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
Let us try and feel the presence of God in our hearts and try to keep that awakening for as long as possible. To him, the God of gods, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, whose beauty made him enchantingly attractive to all, who often sang in rapturous notes songs to Mother Kali, who in chanting grew mad in ecstasy and was wrapped ever in divine communion, who by his grace, by his sage counsel, guided the aspirant's course, who dispelled the sorrows and heartache of all, I bow down in deep reverence. To him, the God of gods, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, to whom gold and clay were the same, whose mind rose above all likes and dislikes, who saw in all women Mahashakti, the mother of the universe herself. To him, the giver of knowledge and devotion, of enjoyment here and hereafter, of salvation and pure intelligence, I bow down in deep reverence.
स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ तत्सत्।
जय श्री गुरु महाराज की
जय।
महामाई की
जय।
स्वामी जी महाराज की
जय।
गंगा मात की
जय।
महावीर स्वामी जी की
जय।
सर्व ऋषि मुनियों की
जय। पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव की जय। ॐ नमो